Hey guys, on this week's episode of Tied to the Land, we've got Lowell Sparrow in here from Illinois. Lowell's going to talk about hunting trips in Africa and Europe. He's going to talk about managing multiple businesses in real estate and food plots and property management. It's one you guys won't want to miss. A young dude out hustling, just getting after it, making a name for himself. Tune in. Welcome to the Tied to the Land podcast, presented by Acres, a platform for up-to-date data, mapping, market intel, and portfolio management. This show explores the connection people have with the land, the work it takes to care for it, and the legacies that are built on it. We dive deep into the stories and experiences that make that connection so meaningful. Whether you hunt, farm, ranch, or simply enjoy the outdoors, this podcast is for you. What is going on, guys? My name's Andrew Schultz. This is the Tied to the Land podcast, and we have Lowell Sparrow, aka L-Dub, in the house today, all the way from Illinois. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Excited to do it.
Yeah, how's it going?
Phenomenal, man. How are things with you?
Things are great, man. Things are great.
Good
Drove
deal.
all the way here from Illinois.
That's right.
How was the drive?
Nice and easy.
Nice and
easy. I'm
easy?
almost to the point now where I can do without a GPS. I'm getting there.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes, sir.
So what are you doing in town, man? What brings you here?
Well, a little bit of work, a little bit of play. Well, mostly play. We're going to be doing a lot of duck hunting and goose hunting over this weekend, so
Cool.
I'm pretty excited to get after that.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of birds around, at least ducks.
Yeah, some Bellis kid told me he found a bunch, so we'll see if that's true or not, but
Yeah, well, that's good. He knows how to find them.
that's right.
For sure. Cool, man. Well, tell us about who you are, where you come from, a little bit about what you do, and we'll dive into the details as we go.
Yeah, man. So I'm 23 years old. I'm from Central Illinois, the Quincy area, kind of known as the Golden Triangle in the whitetail world. Grew up really into hunting, which led to me down the road ending up having a land management business, which got me into the whole outdoor space kind of deal when I was younger. So I was 16 years old playing food plots for guys and doing things along those lines, along with managing my own hunting ground. And down the road, that ended up leading to where I'm at right now. So it's a cool part of the world, very rural. It's a very prominent hunting culture. I mean, you see it every single day, just driving down the road. You see signs, see advertisements. It's a big deal in the part of the world we're from.
Yeah. The Golden Triangle, everybody talks about it. Do you feel like the Golden Triangle is today what it used to be?
No, there's no way. I know guys like to fall for the good old days thing, but I really do think that is kind of the case here.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of hunting guides who were in it in the late 90s and early 2000s when it was really booming, and the stories I hear, unless they're flat out lying to me, are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's still good hunting. You've got good pockets, but it's very based off of where your good management is.
Yeah.
So you can have certain areas where you're going to struggle to kill a 4.5-year-old every single year, and other years where you may have a 180-inch deer on your farm every year. It just depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
So
Those guys, some of those guys are probably triple your age, so they've been able to see a lot over the years.
yeah, absolutely.
So you feel like even in your lifetime, have you seen it change?
Not dramatically, no. I feel like it kind of plateaued off when I was younger. Again, I didn't really pay attention to it early on in my hunting career like I do now. But in the last 5 years or so, when I've been really into it, I don't think I've noticed much of a difference, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So what do you feel like is to blame for that? Or what do you think, in your opinion, is the cause? You've talked to a lot of guys, you said, who've been in it, they've been doing it. In your opinion, why the change?
There's several different things that go into it. The biggest thing is there's just so many guys hunting in this area now, and which has led to a lot of these outfitters becoming more prominent and having more acreage. And just an unfortunate side effect of all that is just you have more young deer getting killed every single year. You have more guys on less acreage. It's driven the cost of leases up. It's just not, I don't like blaming outfitters solely, but it's been a large problem, I think, in our area, and we've been seeing the effects of that for a number of years now.
Yeah.
Habitat loss is also another big thing. Guys pushing in draws to be able to create more tillable, which, again, I understand the whole reason behind it. You've got to get return off your land, but it has had some negative set effects on the side of whitetail habitat, as well as turkeys and other species too.
Sure. So somebody listening to this might be like, "Well, why are you knocking the area?" You know, I kind of led you into a trap there,
Yeah.
but like obviously you sell real estate with Arrowhead Land Company.
Yep.
What do you feel like are the draws for people? Why do people continue coming back to the Golden Triangle? What makes it still so special, so unique, to where people from all over the country, really even the world, come to hunt there?
Yeah, I mean, you weren't kidding when you say all over the world. I've got guys from the UK and South Africa who come and hunt with me every single year. I mean, it is really unbelievable who and how many people we draw into the region just to hunt whitetails every single fall. But the habitat's phenomenal. It's very pretty country. Whenever you're picturing your picturesque whitetail Midwest hunt, that's what you're picturing are these pretty areas of the Golden Triangle: Pike County, Adams County, Brown County, Hancock County, these kind of areas. And the genetics are pretty good still. If you're able to get deer to a full age class, you're going to grow absolute giants in our area. A lot of it just has to go, honestly, is with the history, because there are other pockets of the country that are just as good as this, but it's also very accessible to hunt in Illinois. You can get over-the-counter tags every single year. That's kind of a big deal, versus like Kansas or Iowa, for instance, where you're going to have a hard time hunting every year unless you're a resident.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the non-resident tag deal seems like a hot topic in a lot of states right now. Do you see Illinois ever making it harder for non-residents?
No, just because of the politics of how our DNR works, absolutely not. But,
Yeah.
and I mean, selfishly from my own business, I want those out-of-state guys here. They're who I manage farms for. They're who I buy and sell a lot of farms for. It's great to have them in the area, and they drive a lot of our local economy. So it's great to have them. And I think the DNR sees that, and I don't think they're going to pull back off it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Even if it would be better for the whitetail herd management, I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah. So let's take it a step further then. You know, you're saying, man, you'd like to keep things the same. It benefits your business. I mean, let's talk about the impact to local businesses that you've seen from those people coming in and hunting every year during the fall. Mm-hmm. What do you see?
Man, it's just the outdoor stores are just absolutely booming certain times of the year. And really, it allows these stores to grow and be open and have enormous amounts of income and employ a lot of people from our local area, which is obviously great for everybody around there. I was talking to the outfitters earlier. That creates an enormous amount of jobs. They do pretty well. They're still expanding pretty rapidly, so I would say it's still a good business to be in. For real estate agents and for farmers who rely off of this sort of thing for side income on their properties, it's phenomenal as well. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of positive side effects economically to this deer hunting boom we have in our area.
Yeah. You know, you've met my buddy Gianni. He owns a pizza place there in Pittsfield, Illinois, Pike County. And I know that his busiest months are during the fall when there's hunters in town and, you know, they're needing a place to eat. And so
it's wild. I've heard of waitresses in Pittsfield having $2,000 tip nights in the middle of November. And it's just, you wouldn't ever guess that, but it's the way it works.
Yeah. So what would you say to the locals then? Because we've all heard it. Like, man, these out-of-staters, they're buying up all this ground. They're driving up the prices. They're, you know, I don't have a place to hunt anymore. All these outfitters, they're leasing everything up. I lost all my spots. I mean, what would you say to those people?
Well,
because that's a sensitive subject, man. And there's a lot of people in that boat.
It's very, very touchy. But I still think the access is there if you're willing to work hard enough for it. For instance, one thing I started doing is I would hop on leases with out-of-state guys where I would basically provide the labor for it. I'd put up tree stands and food plots in exchange for being able to hunt these high-dollar leases for free. And it's a way that I can get in and not have, I mean, as a 23-year-old, I don't have a ridiculous amount of money just to throw at leasing out hunting ground, but it allows me access that I wouldn't have otherwise. So what I'm getting at with that is if you're creative enough, you can find ways. There's still public land. You can still kill giant deer on public land in Illinois. There's a lot of guys that say you can't. I know enough guys who kill big deer off it to tell you that's completely untrue. There's still people, if you go knock on their doors too, especially if you're okay hunting smaller farms. I've got probably half a dozen permission farms just from knocking on people's doors and just talking to them and having a good conversation. If you treat people well, you don't abuse their land, at the end of the day, they're going to let you come back again and again and again and again. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I feel like it's just like anything in life. How resourceful are you willing to be? Mm-hmm. You know, how bad do you want it? Are you going to find ways to make it happen? Which clearly you have. And I think everybody else has that same opportunity as well. Hey guys, this podcast is sponsored by Arrowhead Land Company. Their mission is to create, inspire, or advance connection to the land in every person throughout the world and empower every person to pursue a better life through the freedom that comes from land ownership. These guys are the best of the best in the rural real estate business. If you need help buying or selling a farm, ranch, country home, anything that could be considered the rural lifestyle, give Arrowhead Land Company a call. Deer hunting's not the only thing you do. Moving on a little bit here, you've been on some really awesome trips overseas hunting recently. I say overseas, across the world, however you want to reference it.
Yeah.
You've been to Africa, been to Europe, right?
Yep.
Europe. Tell us about what prompted all of that. I know the Africa trip came first, so maybe let's start there. How did you get into that deal? Was that intimidating for you? What was the experience like over there? Tell us all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it really just comes down to having met the right people at the right times. This isn't something like we just planned on booking a trip and going to Africa. This actually goes all the way back to when I was 16 looking for my first job. There's an archery store in Quincy, or was an archery store in Quincy. It's closed now. That was owned by a guy named Charles Whitcomb, who was my first ever boss when I turned 16. And he's a South African gentleman. And we got along well. We started leasing out farms together. We became pretty good buddies. And a couple years back, he extended the invite to my dad and I to come to Africa with him, a bunch of other South Africans, and a bunch of Brits, which was absolutely wild. Dad and I didn't realize this going into it, but we probably should have. We were the only American accents we heard for 10 days straight when we were in camp there.
Wow.
But so we flew over. I've got to tell this story. My dad's going to kill me for this, but I've got to tell this story. We had a layover in the UK. We had probably 6 or 7 hours in London on the way over there. And so we're thinking, okay, let's go do a little bit of sightseeing. It was both of our first times in Europe. We go to walk over towards Buckingham Palace, and this is really hard to describe, but there's this concrete walkway and this big arch with some statues on it. And underneath the arch, you could drive some vehicles through. It was a big tourist attraction. People are out there taking photos of it. And you kind of hear this motorcade coming off in the distance, and everyone scatters out of the way and starts pulling their phones out to record. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? I get out of the way. I'm watching these cars come through, and Dad's still sitting there in the middle of this arch, filming everything. The vehicles are coming by. The first motorcycle almost hits him. He jumps out of the way, runs off to the side, and all of these vehicles come through. And I'm looking in the back of one of them. It was a really nice, I couldn't tell you what it was, a Mercedes or something. And I'm like, man, that guy in the back seat of that looks really familiar. And people start around us whispering about it being King Charles. So I'll say all this to say, we were in London for 3 hours, and my dad almost got hit by a car by the King of England. It was, wow. So the trip started off on an interesting note.
Yeah.
Got over to Africa. Man, it was just unbelievable. I know this isn't what most people want when they go into a hunting experience, but we were at kind of a high fence style operation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything over there in Africa is fenced, but you have certain levels of free range versus slightly baited versus what would be considered like a full normal high fence operation. I know this is something you know a bit about.
Yeah.
So you've got a brother in that industry.
Yeah.
But the variety of species there was unbelievable. The terrain was unbelievable. The people were just incredible. I mean, you could not have picked a better group of 24 people to be in camp with for a week and a half. I mean, it was one of those moments that you sit back and look at it afterwards. You're like, I cannot believe we ended up here where we did.
Yeah.
I killed a wildebeest and a sable, and my dad killed a red hartebeest just out there, mostly hunting out of what they call hides. It's like a ground blind that's permanently built. Some of them shaped like ant hills. You have some of them shaped like boulders. Some of them just look like you set a box blind on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we did a variety of different hunts out of those. I mean, it's just wild. You're sitting there, and there's a herd of wildebeest. There's legs walking underneath the trees. Those must be giraffes. I mean, just the variety of game that was over there was absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
And you don't have that true free range feel to it. You're not hunting because you're looking for a thrill of a kill over there. It's more of an experience. It's not like you're coming home and bragging about, oh, I had this wild hunt go down and I killed so-and-so game animal. It's like you just go over there because you get to see different things, you get to meet different people. Sure, the hunting's great, but it's the experience that goes along with it that's really, really special.
Yeah, I've heard the experience in Africa is amazing.
when you go to any of these places, these
Mm-hmm.
outfitters. Do you happen to know how big the ranch was you were hunting?
A few thousand acres, if I had to
Yeah.
guess.
So, I mean, I don't know what the animal populations were, but like a lot of people hear high fence and they think it's like shooting fish in a barrel. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a couple thousand acres for these animals to roam around. That's a big piece of property. I know several of them are way bigger over there.
Oh, yeah.
Like several thousand acres. So what do you feel like was the most surprising or maybe the most exhilarating thing you experienced on that trip? Like,
Man, it's just there's so many small experiences throughout those 2 weeks that were just unbelievable. It's hard to really pick one. Shooting the sable was pretty cool. I was literally falling asleep in the blind from just having been so tired from the week, and I pop back up awake, and it's sitting there at 10 yards. So you're reaching over and grabbing your bow, and again, another goofy aspect to this, you've got this price sheet with you of different animals, and before grabbing my rangefinder, this felt so goofy. You're looking at this price sheet like, okay, how much is this going to cost? And they're priced by per inch on their horns. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, I think its head's about 18 inches, which means its horns are about 36. I'm sitting there like, man, I really don't know if this is a good idea. I'm like, you know what? I'm in Africa once, let's do it, and shot it at 10 yards. So that was
Wow.
pretty cool. Getting to watch the trackers go was wild. Those boys are something else. So you're hunting over a water hole, and the ground around it is completely covered in animal tracks. Just there's not an inch of dirt that isn't. And the ground itself is red. So when these trackers come over, I'm like, how in the heck are you going to be able to figure out, A, which set of tracks is from this animal, B, how are you going to see blood? It probably took them 15 seconds to find the sable. I mean, they walked over, they just picked out a set of tracks, followed it. It was absolutely unbelievable.
wow. So what was maybe something you thought about Africa where it was totally different, or what surprised you the most about it?
Really just how similar the people were, to be honest with you. I mean, the things they cared about, the things they prayed about, it's all the same as we have back over here. I mean, I didn't know really what I was expecting going into it. It was so foreign to us, but the people were very, very hospitable, at least the people we were around. I can say, I mean, I didn't have a bad experience with a single person over there. It was pretty cool. Obviously, with it being the culture, how it is over there, and being a very poor country, you kind of have to watch yourself going around. You don't want to be out at night at a gas station, and you lock your doors in your vehicles when you're traveling from place to place. But when you're actually dealing with people one-on-one, I mean, it was unbelievable. The people were phenomenal, which is a big reason why we're going to be going back in the future.
Cool.
So
So do you guys have another trip on the books yet?
27 is the plan right now.
Okay.
That could come or go, but I think that's the rough plan for right now.
Cool.
So we'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you ever feel like you were in danger when you were over there at all? Either from people or the animals?
If it would have been just my dad and I, absolutely. We were with a bunch of South African gentlemen, though, and they kind of showed us around, and I'm like, okay, if they feel like this is safe, then I'm just going to assume it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Cool.
not really.
Cool. Yeah, I know there's a lot of misperceptions out there about what that experience is like, but everybody I've ever talked to, especially when I went to the DSC show last summer, everybody was like, have you been to Africa? I'm like, no, not yet. And they're like, you've got to go. I go back every year. Like, it's amazing. You just can't believe how amazing it is. So
It's addicting, and I think, again, most of it is who you have in the camp with you and how the individual outfit is set up. The hunting is great, but you're there for the people and the experience at the end of the day. I know you have some guys who are all set on, they want to kill XYZ trophy, but the majority of the people over there are just over there to have a good time. And if you're in that right group, man, it's all you're doing is going out to hunt and then coming back and eating good food and drinking good drink all night and going to bed way too late for how early you're getting up in the morning. I mean, it's a really fun experience.
that's cool, man. So how did the Europe trip come about?
So we met a couple when we were over there named Charlie and Kat, and we became pretty fast friends with them.
In Africa?
In Africa,
Yeah.
yes, correct. They were in the same camp. They are friends with the guy who invited me's son. So that's how they ended up in that situation. And we got along with them well, exchanged contact info. We talked about potentially them coming over to the U.S. to hunt, which they ended up doing. I hosted them that same year in November on a whitetail hunt. And they were like, okay, we'll come to repay the favor. You can come and shoot a red stag. And I'm like, man, this does not seem equally yoked at all, but I'll take it. I'll take it. So we got that invite, flew over to London, didn't almost get hit by royalty this time. That was nice. But that trip was very different. It was much more free range, which was refreshing. And
So was it truly free range?
Yes, it was truly
Okay.
free range.
You said much more, so I'm like, okay, was this a 10,000 acre high fence?
yeah.
Or?
No, they were only hand feeding in front of us. It wasn't too bad.
Right.
No. We hunted a variety of different kind of habitat types and areas of the country, so that was kind of cool. We got our own little tour of the country just through the hunting we did. We did everything from southern England all the way up north to Scotland, where we ended up at the end of the trip. So
Wow.
a little bit of everything.
And how far is that? Like the radius that you guys covered?
Oh boy, I couldn't tell you. I mean, the whole island, I'm going to completely butcher this. I want to say it's a little bit bigger than the state of Illinois. It would be like if we started in Carbondale and ended up all the way north in Chicago.
Okay.
But the way they wind through the countryside and the way they have to drive, it's a much longer period to get from A to B if you're driving. So it felt like we went a lot further than we actually did.
Cool. And so y'all hunted red stag. That
Yep.
wasn't the only thing you ended up hunting, but I want to hear about the hunt itself, like what it was like. I mean, red stag, that's like at the top of my bucket list.
Yeah.
If I could go kill anything, I'd love to kill free range red stag. But what was it like? Were you hunting during the rut?
Yes, it was, I believe, the tail end of the rut over there.
Okay.
So it's all spot and stock over there. There's no, I mean, they give you the opportunity to sit in stands, but you're not over there to do that. You want to walk around and cover ground and hear a roaring stag and make a run at it. I mean, it's all that style of hunting. So we started off, first off, we started off at my buddy's farm the first day. I shot a fox over there. We hunted muntjac and roe deer and some other species. Didn't have any success with that, but then we moved up to basically an outfit. We stayed at a hotel, but we were getting guided every day at this first place. And I got lucky, and I believe on day 2, we basically got on the stag about 30 minutes into the hunt, set up on it. I think I shot it about 220 yards, clean shot after 2 misses. We don't talk about that, but
Oh, really? You missed twice before?
yeah, I did miss twice before. We had a miscommunication. I was on my buddy's gun, and we had a miscommunication with how he had the scope dialed. So I shot under it twice, and he had to like shake me to stop. He's like, "Hey, I didn't adjust it," and flipped it back, and then I shot it. And luckily, for some odd reason, the thing didn't move at all. I just got unbelievably lucky on that. But
Wow.
yeah, it was a nice stag. It was in beautiful country out there. I mean, there's this beautiful evergreen timber around us. We're in this really pretty valley filled with ferns and tall grass, and it's just beautiful scenery over there, man. It's so different from what we have over here.
Yeah. What was the weather like?
Highs in the 50s and 60s and lows in the 30s
Okay.
for the most part. So
So kind of like an Illinois fall?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not dramatically different at all, I would say, on that side of things. It's a lot more dreary and rainy over there, but the temperature is pretty similar.
Cool.
But yeah, no, that was a good time. But the hunting at that first location was pretty slow. My buddy Hayden, who came over with me, and Charlie, who was also hunting, they were not having any luck. And the guide basically told us, he's like, "Hey, man, I'm not going to take any more of your money. This sucks. But I've got a buddy who owns a private island up in Scotland, and we can hook you up with him, and you guys can go get a couple days of hunting up there." So we're like, we'd be an idiot to say no to this.
Yeah.
We hauled all the way up. It was about a day and a half journey just to get all the way up there. We took a ferry out to an island and then a boat to another island. But this place was very different, almost no trees on it. There's basically an island that's one big mountain, about 5,000 acres, and we had the whole thing to ourselves for a couple of days.
Wow.
Stayed in what's called a bothy. It's an old shepherd's cottage made of stone, no electricity or running water or anything. You're eating over candlelight. You've got your soup cans that you're eating out of first, and then they serve as your cups afterwards. I mean, we were roughing it a little bit there for a couple days.
That's cool though.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I'm glad we did it and not just stayed in a hotel the whole time.
Yeah.
So
And so what did y'all hunt on that island?
fallow deer, red stags, and European mountain goats.
Okay.
So day one was just us checking out the island. We went on a big hike, and it was just unbelievable, man. You would sit there in glass on one mountainside, and there would be 6 groups of 10 to 15 stags scattered across, hearing a roar every 30 seconds. I mean, it was just unbelievably game rich. We're like, okay, well, now we understand why there's a 10-year waiting list to get into this place. We just happened to stumble into it.
Holy cow.
So, yeah.
A 10-year waiting list for that island?
To hunt in that general area, yeah. I don't know about that specific island, but
Okay.
that's what we were told on the
I was
way up
going to
there.
ask you about game laws over there. Like if they structure things similarly to how the U.S. does.
Not even remotely comparable, no. You don't have a tag system over there or a license system. You just have to be licensed to carry a gun over there, or to own a gun, excuse me. Their whole process is a lot different.
Wow.
So
If you can carry a gun, you can hunt there.
pretty much, and you typically, everything you're hunting is on a private estate, and they have their own prices per animal. So, I mean, there's no bag limits per se. If you want to kill so many stag, from the way I understand it, if you're willing to pay for it, you can keep doing it.
Is there any public land or like national forests over there?
I'm sure there's some form of public land over there, but I don't think it's open like it is in the U.S., and it's probably much less acreage
Yeah.
for the size of the island. So there's not really much to speak of.
Yeah.
Hunting opportunity is very, very scarce over there. You have to know the right people.
Yeah. Wow. So what did you enjoy more, Africa or Europe?
Probably, oh boy, they're 2 completely different animals, man. It's hard to compare the 2, but the Europe trip was really, really special in its own way. Through the hunting was better in Europe, and I would say the camp atmosphere was better in Africa. So
Yeah.
there, again, I can't pick one over the other. I want to do both every year if I can.
Okay. You've got to pick one. You can
I've-
only do one for the rest of your life. You can only take a Europe trip or you can only take an Africa trip. Which one you going on?
Probably Europe.
Okay. Wow.
Probably Europe. It's just that beautiful. The game over there is incredible. And the people we get to stay with there are awesome. They become very good friends of ours, and they treated us extremely well. So
That's cool.
any chance to go back and see them, we're going to take.
Yeah. So are they going to keep coming to Illinois and hunting?
That's the plan. I think they're coming back this year again, and I may be going back over there again this year. It's kind of up in the air. If I hit certain goals with my business, I told myself I was going to let myself go. If not, I'll skip a year and go the following. But
Attaboy.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
man. Good
that's
man.
right. Got to keep motivated the right way. But yeah, we want to make it an annual thing to see each other. So whether it's I go there one year and then they come here the next year, however it happens to play, we're going to make it work every year. So
Cool.
This podcast is sponsored by Oklahoma Ag Credit. At Oklahoma Ag Credit, they combine ag expertise with relationship-driven service to help you finance what matters most. From equipment and land and everything in between, your loan options are built to support your operation your way. Step into any of their 17 branches or call 405-938-1700 or visit okagcredit.com.
So let's talk about your business. Well, you're really in 2 businesses. You've got your real estate business and you've got a food plot management business, habitat management, not really habitat management, but mostly food plots, caring for farms, that type of thing.
Yeah, just hunting farm management in general, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get into that? You started that at a young age. I mean, probably younger than anybody even would think about starting a business in a lot of cases. How did you get into that?
Well, I mowed lawns when I was 15 or 16, started off doing that and had some equipment laying around the house. And I don't even remember exactly how it came up, but someone gave me the opportunity to do a food plot for them. I'd already been kind of playing with it for myself and like, all right, they're going to pay me to do this. Let's run out and try it. So
you're on like the yard mower at this point?
Oh, yeah. You're mowing plots with a 0 turn. You're pulling a little 4-foot disc behind a old Kawasaki mule. I mean, it's not what I've got going on now. Nothing even close. But we made it work and did it for a couple of years like that. And then I'm like, man, this is a lot of fun. I could see myself doing this for a while. So scaled the business a little bit. Being in school the entire time was a little bit awkward. I could only do a certain amount of work. But yeah, that just through Facebook ads and meeting people and getting all sorts of references. I mean, it was wild, the book of business I had built up over time where I've got 30 clients from all over the country who then have me come and manage the farms for them. anywhere from an hour and a half south of my house to an hour and a half north to an hour and a half east. I mean, managing farms in probably 11 or 12 different counties right now.
Wow.
So
It's cool, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really awesome.
yeah, and it's just built organically. I mean, it's not been something I've forced. It's just kind of happened the way it is. I do well with somebody and they refer me to somebody else, and occasionally I'll put an ad on Facebook and get a couple new clients that way. So
Have you always had a little bit of a entrepreneurial spirit, or is that something that you didn't know you had? You just kind of discovered it through doing this work on these farms?
I mean, I would say it's just the right things fell into place when I was younger where I had the opportunity to do it, and I just realized I really like it. And I worked a number of jobs where I was your typical 16, 18-year-old jobs, and I realized I'm like, man, being my own boss is a lot more fun than doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to carry this on into my future and keep being an entrepreneur, and that's played out pretty well that way.
Well, your old man's a business owner, right?
Yep.
So I'm curious, did you guys ever have conversations about business or about going down the road of entrepreneurship, or did you not have that type of relationship where like you didn't really talk about work like that?
No, he was very supportive of it the whole time. He's helped me out with a lot of things. And he kind of lets us take our own direction with where we want to go. But at the same time, I mean, he's definitely, once he realized, I think, how good it was for us, I mean, he was really pushing for me to do it. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's told me you have to go do this, but he's been very supportive along the way.
Yeah. Has he been a mentor for you, like in terms of you being able to talk to him about your business and seek guidance from him?
Oh yeah, I ask him about something about every day.
Yeah?
It seems like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's a great resource to have, and he's a fantastic man to deal with in general. So I'll call him at random odd hours just to ask random questions about stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
So
That's cool, man. That's cool. So you've been managing farm. When did you start that business?
oh boy,
Or when did you hook up the zero turn and the Kawasaki mule and go do your first plot? How old were you?
would have been. I mean, I was about 16, so oh boy, 2018, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Seems like a lifetime ago, but it really wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And did you have aspirations early on to scale it the way that you have?
No, it was just kind of something I did, to be honest with you. I mean, I was your average high school kid. That work priority was probably number 4 or 5, and I just was doing it because it worked out well for me and I enjoyed it. And over time, I'm like, okay, this is becoming something I can scale quite a bit, make it a little bit more profitable, pick up a bigger client base, et cetera, et cetera. And that kind of has led into me wanting to do the real estate thing as well. I love spending time outdoors. I love people. I love just getting to spend days on properties, just walking them, checking them out, picturing how I would do up things if I was the person who owned or leased it, et cetera, et cetera. So it just kind of all makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just did a podcast recently with Owen. You referenced Owen earlier, little Bellis or young Bellis.
Yep.
I don't remember what you called him. I'm not calling him that. You said something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we talked about how hard it is to enter this business as a young man, maybe harder than starting the food plot business even. Has it been tough for you? Have you faced rejection as a 23-year-old getting into the real estate business? What's it been like for you in that way?
Yeah, I've had multiple people literally tell me I had the best proposal for them. I came off fantastic, but their wife was nervous about hiring a 23-year-old out to sell their house or their farm. I mean, you do deal with rejection just because of your age, for sure. Which I found some hurdles or some good ways to deal with that. A lot of stuff that you've taught me, and it's started to take shape now where I'm getting some momentum going because of it. But yeah, starting off is very difficult, especially as a young person with not a lot of money to dump into marketing and limited experience, et cetera, et cetera. It's a tough business to get into.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think a lot of people, the perception is that it's much easier than what it is. Would you say that's fair?
Oh, yeah.
You thought it was going to be easier than it has been?
Yeah, I mean, it looks real sexy from the outside. And you're like, man, you just get to drive around in a side-by-side and show farms all day and shake hands and do all this cool stuff, and that's not the reality of how it works at all, at least starting off.
Yeah.
So
far from it. Do you keep the mustache around just to look a little bit older?
That's right. It gives me about 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. No.
I've noticed a common theme with you young real estate agents, like y'all rock the mustache,
Oh, yeah.
Adds maybe, 2, 3, 4 years.
That's right. Yeah. No, I could pass as 25 now. If I shaved this thing, I probably couldn't pass as 18. So,
Attaboy. Don't blink, man. It goes by quick. You'll be rocking and rolling and looking back like, man, remember when I started this deal and I was 23 and had no idea what I was doing? But, man, you're trending in the right direction. This guy, I just want to plug him really quick for any of you listening. Dude is a workhorse, knows his market really well, especially from doing the farm management. Is super connected with clientele that has money. I mean, you're going to be a hammer in the real estate business. It's just going to take time to get there, you know?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You're already doing the thing, and I'm super pumped for you.
Thank you, man. Thank
Yeah.
you. It's just time and work, man. It's going to get there. Just keep working at it.
Yeah, no doubt. So are you single?
I am.
You're single?
I am indeed.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
For all, I don't know what our percentage of single young lady viewership is on this podcast.
Probably
but
sub 1%, but yeah.
sub 1%.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if any of you are interested, this guy, he's good as gold. I'm telling you, he's got 2 businesses just flourishing, absolutely thriving.
Appreciate the plug, Andrew.
Yeah. Okay. We'll leave that behind. Man, do you see yourself? I'm curious. Do you see yourself ever living anywhere other than Illinois? Like you're getting out and seeing the world a little bit now, literally. You know, you're here in Oklahoma hunting. Are you always going to be an Illinois boy? Are you going to be under J.B. Pritzker's wrath? Or do you have aspirations to maybe see other parts of the country, do other things?
Well, I do want to have my home base in the Midwest. I'm not even necessarily married to Illinois specifically, but there's just a lot of things about the Midwest that I love. Obviously, my hobbies, it goes very well with what I do for work. Professionally, it wouldn't be impossible, but it would be a lot harder to do what I do about anywhere else. Mm-hmm. And I can always travel a lot. I mean, I love to travel and I love to hunt. Those 2 things go together really well. It gives me a great excuse to go out west or east or south or even travel the globe. So yeah, I can have a good home base and still be well traveled and see all the things I want to see, I feel.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome, man. How's the turkey population looking in Illinois?
Hopefully good. We had a pretty good bump the last couple of years. We've finally been, I know you didn't see this on your hunt when you were out here with us.
Hey, I got a turkey.
Yeah.
Lowell hooked me up. I came to Illinois. I'm from Illinois. I think several of the people, if they've tuned into this before, maybe they know that about me. But went to Illinois last spring, hunted turkeys with you, and I snuck away with a long beard. It was awesome.
That's right. Matt and I had this crazy plan devised to go kill something, and we just dropped Andrew off on the side of the road, and he ends up being the one that walks back with the bird. So I'd say it played out pretty well.
Yeah, no doubt. We were hunting hard, and it just turns out the particular farm we were hunting where there were plenty of birds, you had reaped a bird. We had a couple mishaps trying to reap birds. And then, like, by the end of it, it just felt like anytime they saw that turkey decoy, they were like, nope, I'm out of here.
Oh, yeah. No, that Tom had seen that reap decoy probably, oh boy, half a dozen times in about 3 days.
Yeah.
He knew it was up every single time.
Yeah, man. He caught on to us, that's for sure. So I was like, heard a bird at this new spot that you have permission at, and drop me off there the next day. You guys go do your thing. And I think it was like 5 minutes after legal shooting light, pretty much, and I had that bird killed, and I was sending you guys pictures.
Yeah, we had a selfie by about 15 minutes into shooting light, and Matt and I hadn't even been hearing anything. We're like, okay, like, go figure, right?
Yeah,
But
that was fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to do that again. That was a blast.
Yeah. No, we're always glad to have you. And again, you're a little bit better of a caller than I am, so maybe we'll double up on something this year.
Dude, I love it. You know, I love calling at turkeys and hunting turkeys, so I'm definitely on board. So, Lowell, what would you say to other young men and women looking to get into business for themselves, you know, particularly in the outdoor landscape, but it doesn't have to be? Where do they start? Who do they talk to? How do they chase that dream of entrepreneurship like you did?
Man, just do it. You're going to learn through a lot of mistakes again and again and again and again, and it's going to seem very intimidating to start off with, but even if you're scared to do it, just do it scared, and find people who are more experienced than you, spend as much time as you can around them, learn from these people, because a lot of them are very, very willing to mentor young people, people such as yourself, and I've got a dozen other names I could rattle off the top of my head that have been phenomenal to me, but spend as much time around successful people as you can. Work your butt off. It's not going to be easy to start off with, and you're going to get a lot of people that give you funny looks just because you're young, but you can make it happen.
Yeah. How important do you feel like finding yourself in the Arrowhead culture has been towards your success? Like you kind of stumbled into Arrowhead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can tell how that shook out if you want to, but how important do you feel like culture is for a young man or woman looking to get into business?
It's everything, to be honest with you. If you don't like the people you work around, you don't like the company you work with, you're not going to do good, even if you're good at what you do. So I just feel like I got, again, unbelievably lucky with you guys. The right things just played in. I jumped into the apprenticeship program here. I don't know how much you've had people talk about that in the past on the podcast, but
Yeah, a little bit, but feel free to share.
yeah. So we were just in the apprenticeship program. You start off doing marketing for your existing agents, and I've had two good ones to work underneath, Steve Noble and Brody Elliott, and they've been fantastic to work with. They've given me some great properties to check out, and not only have I been doing all the drone photography and putting together the listing descriptions and the ground photography, all that sort of good stuff, but as you're doing it, you start to ask more and more questions about, okay, how'd you come across this listing? How are you treating XYZ situation? And that's really given me a lot of valuable information to feel a lot more confident going into my sales business now that that's starting up as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a great way to bridge the gap from wanting to be a real estate agent to actually taking meaningful steps towards becoming one.
Yeah. No doubt, dude. You flourished in that program and, moved into a hybrid role pretty quickly. And I think anybody thinking about getting into real estate, they could benefit from it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's again, to our knowledge, there's no other company out there that does this.
No, there will be.
Yeah.
Somebody will copy it. And that's okay. But I'm a huge advocate for getting young men and women into the real estate business, but doing it in such a way that it's fulfilling and fruitful for them. Too many companies just throw their agents to the wolves and hope they make something happen, and we're trying to do that differently here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like you guys have done a phenomenal job of that. I've never had a single complaint working for you guys, and I felt very taken care of throughout the entire process. So there's never been a point in time where I didn't feel like I could call you up and ask a stupid question. So
yeah, no doubt. I appreciate that, man. You mentioned Steve Noble. Steve's a loyal listener of the podcast.
That's right.
Any shout out or special message that you want to give Steve if he tunes into this?
Steve's my dog, man. I probably annoy him with questions even more than I do you, man.
Yeah.
But he's been great to work with. Just a phenomenal personality, whether you're doing something business related or just want to go grab drinks with somebody. He's great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Steve's a beast. So Steve works in Illinois and Iowa, lives in Iowa, southeast Iowa, but a great resource for anybody listening over in that area as well. I know you guys have worked together on a handful of things.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple of things we're trying to work right now, and anyone looking to sell their ground in Iowa, I would point straight to him with no hesitation, feel very good about it.
Yeah.
So.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, what makes you tied to the land? Other than hunting, and other than working on people's farms, what's something that we haven't talked about? I'm going to make you think.
As far as making me tied to the land,
yeah,
that's a good one. Put me on the spot a little bit.
Well, it's easy to say, yeah, I hunt, or yeah, I work on these farms. But like, what's something else that you enjoy about the outdoors? Something else that ties you to the land?
Yeah, just anything from hiking to kayaking to I try to spend as much time as I can outside, whether it's with a bow in my hand or not. Fishing, I do quite a bit of bass fishing as well during the summers. I feel like that ties me to the land a little bit. Just I'm always in the outdoors, to be honest with you. Yeah. So it's really hard to just pick one thing, go with it as far as how I'm tied to the land. But it's my life revolves around the land.
Yeah.
Everything, every aspect of my business, a lot of my hobbies just involve spending a ton of time outdoors. So,
yeah, it's the way to be, man.
That's right.
Your brother, I got to meet him when I was hunting with you in Illinois for turkeys. You guys are pretty different in that way, right? He doesn't spend a whole lot of time outdoors like you do. How did you get into that lifestyle at a young age? Was it your dad that got you into it? Was it somebody else? Like, I'm curious because, I've got 4 brothers. 4 out of the 5 of us hunt, all exposed to the same things, but our stories are probably a little bit different in terms of like how and when we all got into the outdoors. Yeah. So, not talking about your brother here, but like, I'm curious, how did you get exposed to it, and like it so much. And then, you know, his path has been different. But for you, what was that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I got into it independently because that's not true, but I didn't get taught by my dad how to hunt. In fact, I actually got my dad into hunting. It was the other way around.
Cool.
My late grandpa on my mom's side was very, very into fishing. And when I was probably 4 or 5 years old, he got me pretty addicted to that. Whenever we go up and visit our grandparents up north, we go fish at our uncle's pond, and that instilled a love for fishing in me. And I was the little kid who would get up at 6 in the morning to watch a Bassmaster tournament on Sundays. And how I actually got into hunting was there were these annoying hunting shows on between the fishing shows I wanted to watch as a little kid. And I'm like, skip through this. I don't want to watch this. And eventually I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And our family bought some land over in Missouri. And I never actually hunted over there, but I set up trail cameras, and that really, really got me going on the whitetail thing. So eventually, when our family sold that and bought land over in Illinois, I started doing quite a bit of hunting. I've got a cousin and his father-in-law who actually taught me how to deer hunt. They mentored me through the whole thing, took me to the stand. My dad actually was there. That was pretty special when I killed my first whitetail, but they were the ones who kind of taught me A to Z how to just go about picking a good setup, playing the wind, when you eventually do harvest deer, how to process it, because we do all of our processing ourselves. We don't just ship stuff off to a butcher generally. So
Cool.
They taught me A to Z, how to start off and how to finish the whole process.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Is there anybody that you've been able to give that introduction to get them into the outdoors?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you said your dad, which is super cool because that's usually flip-flopped in a lot of cases. But
absolutely.
Anybody else that stands out in your mind?
Yeah, I've gotten a good handful of my friends into hunting, and I have a few friends as well who were into hunting, but I really, really got hooked on the whitetail thing. Got a buddy Jackson, for instance. He killed an absolute slammer of a deer this year in Illinois, way bigger than anything I've ever killed, and I got him into bow hunting just a few years ago.
Cool.
So I took a kid out this year, got him his first buck ever. I've been trying for a couple of years to do that. Really, I mean, whenever someone wants to hunt or just expresses any interest, I'm like, I got something for you. Just tag along with me. And it's a lot of fun getting people into it, man. It's extremely rewarding. In fact, it's gotten to the point now where, don't get me wrong, I still love killing big stuff, but I would almost rather see some of my friends killed than myself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know the feeling, man. That's awesome. Well, dude, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how do they find you? You on social media?
Yeah. I'm Facebook, Instagram, just about everything normal. My number, my email's on the Arrowhead website, so you can get a hold of me that way as well. Pretty easy to find generally, so I'm pretty decent at picking up my phone.
And if they can't find you, just start driving through the Golden Triangle, and they might see you out on a Kubota tractor in the middle of a field somewhere, huh?
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. You're running into me somewhere out there. That's right.
Right on. Well, Lowell, L-Dub, thanks for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
Appreciate you being here. This is Tied to the Land podcast, and until next time, we'll talk to you guys then.